Well, good day, boys and girls. How's it going? Okay, another quick video. Well, probably a long video. I'm going to run through what I took on the West Highland Way and what worked and what didn't work. We'll start with the big things and work down to. I tell you what, I'm just gonna randomly go through shit as I pick it up. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna pick up is my tent pegs. Tent pegs, I tell you what worked were the 6-inch Eastern Carbons. They worked really, really well. I had to use the titanium stakes a couple of times because the ground, as somebody else had mentioned, the ground further up on the side of Loch Lomond did get very rocky, and these served a purpose. And believe it or not, I did end up using the little tiny shepherd hooks. Yes, they come in handy. So all in all, very impressed. I never got to use the Z-Packs pegs, but I'm quite looking forward to trying them out. Very surprised that they weigh in at just over 6 grams, tiny. So very impressed with them. Yeah, so yeah, peg wise, everything that I took worked really, really well. Next thing, the Ultra Lone Peak 5s. Fucking absolute shite. My feet are still wrecked. Can I totally blame it on the shoes? Yeah. They're way too thin for that kind of terrain and scrambling along Loch Lomond and the military roads. They are absolutely shite. I should have put some kind of liner, sole liners in them, or whatever you call them. So I've just ordered some hookahs. I can't remember what they're called. I keep wanting to say Mofara, but they're not. It's not Mofara. Anyway, just ordered them. They should be here today, so I'm looking forward to trying them out. They've got 30mm cushion with a 4mm drop, I think it is. So I don't know. Let's suck it. Let's see what happens. What else worked? Nurofen, ibuprofen. My feet were in such a state. I would have been absolutely screwed without them. In fact, I'd go as far as saying I wouldn't have finished if it wasn't for drugs. Shitty lighter that seemed to kept going all the way. I was surprised with that. That was quite funny. Right, the next thing I got was I can't remember what litre this is. I think this is the 7.5 litre DCF dry bag from Tread Light Gear. That kept all my waterproofs and my warm kit. And I kept on outside of the pack. Faultless, absolutely faultless. Love it. Obviously, you need toilet paper, so I took biodegradable wet wipes and nappy sacks because sometimes I do carry my shit out. But the beauty of the West Highland Way is that there's toilets and pubs and shops and all the conveniences everywhere, so I don't think I shat in the woods once, to be honest. Next, I love this now. This is the food cell. Again, I can't remember what literage it is. Oh yeah, it's called the Weekender. It's called the Weekender food cell from Tread Light Gear. I took 4 meals and some other bits and bobs in here, and I've come back with just some more of my medication. Some empty packs of medication. My tea and coffee and sugar pack. one of my tent meals I never ate. That's the Thai green curry. Hot and sour cup of soup, and the reindeer stew by Real Termat. Yeah, so I never ate any of them, and my little MSR pouch, which did come in handy actually, because I did spice up one of the other tent meals I had. So yes, served me well. I tell you what, having the food cell is just a great way to contain anything, you know, to do with your meals. You just whack it in the pack and it sits perfectly inside the pack, and you know you can just drag it out with all your bits and bobs together. Yeah, love that bit of kit. Onto my first aid kit. I didn't use any of my first aid kit except for my, where has it gone? My little Gerber. This is called the Gerber Dime. So I used this to pull some thorns out my hand. I used a knife for cutting the Luco tape for strapping my toes up. Used the knife for cutting the bandage for my ankle and my feet. I didn't use nothing else in there. No plasters. No, I didn't need the piezo igniter thing. Didn't need my lip cream or anything like that. Yeah, really chuffed. So again, I got tick tools. Now I know the other lads got a couple of ticks, quite a few ticks, but I didn't. So yeah, got lucky there. So first aid kit, obviously you need to take it. This is a little DCF bag made by I think this one's by Wild Sky Gear. Yeah, lovely bit of kit. Had that a long time now. Working very well. What's on the menu next? Spoon. Obviously, this is the Trossachs titanium long-handled spoon. It's a spoon and it works. It worked really, really well. Cheap little sit pad from AliExpress or whatever you called it. Sat on top of my pack and I used it religiously. Fantastic. Next brilliant bit of kit. Now then, I think, I don't know, what can I say? This was bomber. This was absolutely brilliant. To sit on the front here, to have your wallet, your fags, because I smoke, sunglasses, head torch, earbuds, cash, wallet, medication, just everything. It was absolutely brilliant, and I'll never go without this again now. It's fantastic. I love it. Brilliant bit of kit. What's next? 0.6 litre water bottle. I think it's a smart one. I took the things off and put my own stickers on. Loved it. I had 2 bottles. Where's the other one? I don't know. It's here somewhere. I'll show you in a minute. There it is. So I had a bottle of water in that pouch and a bottle of Lucozade in that pouch. Brilliant. Next thing I took was the Catadin, whatever you want to call it, the Bee Free. I only had to filter water once because, again, there's just so much water along the way. Only once I had to filter it. And again, this is brilliant bit of kit. As long as you're not filtering really shitty peaty water, this thing will last for ages, you know, so yeah, great bit of kit. Needed to take it, glad I took it, and worked really, really well. Cook set, into the cook set. I think I covered this last time, or I just briefly skimmed through it. So this is the Trossachs 550 pot, inside, contained in the Tread Light Gear DCF little stuff sack for it. I did end up throwing in my Seek to Summit mug, my little mug, because only once really I had a brew in the morning, because I prefer to get up and get out hiking early. It's just handy, and for the sake of it, it just sits on top, and the lid can go on the top, so that's absolutely everything contained. Yeah, so the little Cedar Summit, the BRST 3000, blah 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 blah, whatever it's called, never missed a beat. Absolutely perfect. 100 grams of gas, that is still half full. So I boiled water for my meals 3 nights and made 1 coffee. Fantastic. Yeah, so again, nothing failed there. Everything was absolutely perfect. Nice, compact, lightweight, easy kit that just all slips inside this DCF bag and lives in one of the side pockets on the Atom. Yeah, nothing went wrong with that. So everything so far, everything you've seen, absolutely no failures. Everything's worked perfectly well, except for my shoes. Next thing is my little electronics pack, Nightcore NB 1000. I charged it once, and that kept my phone and my watch going all the way, which was brilliant. It was handy having the little collapsible wall plate thing. I think that's quite cool, because nobody wants any prongs or anything sticking into their kit, do they? In there, lightning lead and USB to USB-C leads. Everything worked perfectly again there. No complaints. What's next? Oh, let's go with my trekking poles. I would have been fucked without my trekking poles, because my feet were in such a state. Black Diamond Alpine Carbon corks. Bomber. I love them. I think they're brilliant. I stuck a bit of Luco tape on the tops of them, just so it's easy to get at, rather than having to drag stuff out my bag. I picked up the new tent on the way, and the dude was kind enough to give me the pole jack, because you've got to have it quite a bit higher for the Altaplex. So yeah, that worked well, really well. No complaints, nothing broke, and I did get it stuck in some rocks a few times. Don't lose that. Here's the other one. What's next? What's next to hand then? Something quite controversial that people said I was going to freeze my nuts off in was the Cumulus 150 custom. Custom with overfill of 900 fill power. I was warm and toasty in this absolutely every night. Did not get cold once. Very, very impressed. Saying that, I think we got lucky with the weather, mind. I think the lowest it got down to was 4 degrees. I think, yeah, so love it, well worth the money. I know it was bloody expensive, but most certainly worth the money. I took this, but I didn't need to. So this is the mountain equipment. Well, I don't know, whatever that logo is. Mountain equipment, blah 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 jacket. Full on rain jacket then, if you like, full on heavy weather rain jacket. Didn't need it. No need for that whatsoever. So didn't use that, so I could put that to the side. Next bit of kit that's here is the Z-Packs Altaplex. So this is the new shelter I picked up along the way, and yeah, all right. It took a night or two to get into pitching it properly, but what a flipping amazing bit of kit. the size when you've got the trekking pole extended right and the pole jack on the bottom. The size inside, because the bathtub hangs down quite a bit, is phenomenal. It's huge. You probably those who follow my Instagram shit, you've probably seen some pictures. It's very impressed with it, and it packs down absolutely tiny, and it fits horizontally in my pack, which is, I love it. And that weighs in at 440 grams, I think. 440, something like that. So it's not far off anyway. Yeah, so I'm loving that at the minute. I pitched it outside, pitched it yesterday for the kids to mess around with. Outside. Yeah, that was good. Was this year, we may as well talk about it. So, this is the Atom Packs Atom. This is a custom pack regarding the colours, the shoulder straps, shoulder width. I didn't go with a pocket on the bottom. I've got the pocket on the bottom of my Mo, but I never use it, don't need it. And plus I have seen that when people have stuffed things in there and they put their bag down, it makes the bag all unbalanced, so the bag keeps freaking falling over and shit like that. So yeah, I didn't need that, and I never used it. What I am glad for is I'm glad at the fact I went for the bullet mesh on the front. I think on paper with Atom Packs, it states that it gives you an extra 5 litres of capacity. What I found was handy with it, on the 2 days where the tent was wet, I would pack the Altaplex up in its pack, but leave the top pull cord. I'd leave the top pull cord open and then put the tent in the pocket this way, so the water or whatever was in there could drain out no problem, and it wasn't like sticking out like half a mile past your pack, and then there was still plenty of room inside to get the rest of your shit in there. It carries amazingly well. Now, yeah, my base weight was extremely low, as well as with food and water, it was still really low. Do you know what? It's that good. It carries that well. I kind of forgot I had the pack on my back, to be honest. It was, even stopping for breaks and stuff like that, I wasn't even fussed about taking the thing off, just because it was so comfortable. The hip belt, the removable webbing hip belt, I am actually going to take that off now because I didn't use it. There's no need for it on this kind of pack. Again, you need to have your base weight and all your stuff dialed in. So super impressed with that. Right, what's next? Next was, oh, look at that. Oh, my quilt. Next was the Cedar Summit, I forget what it's called, bag liner, something like that. Didn't use it, didn't need it. A little bit annoying that I carried that extra 210 grams worth of weight. Not really bothered about the weight, to be honest. It was just the little bit of the bulkier room it took up in the pack that I really didn't need to bring. So okay, there we are. Something else I didn't need to bring, but there we go. The trousers I wore were the Montan Granite Stretch Solar Dries. I didn't hike in shorts. I'm glad I didn't hike in shorts because the other lads got bit with ants and ticks and all shits on them. But I never got anything on me, and they're so light and they're so comfortable. I think they're brilliant. So yeah, I love them. They're fantastic. Chuffed, great bit of kit. The next thing that got absolutely stinking was my sun hoodie. Now this is just a cheap ass long sleeve sun hoodie with the little dooberies for your thumbs in them. This thing I wore every day, all day. I washed it once. It was you know, between the amount of sweat and rubbing your face like this, and then, you know, cleaning whatever's on your face, it was stinking dirty, but it never ever stunk. How cool is that, hey? Love it. Brilliant bit of kit. Cheapy off Amazon. 12 quid, I think. Something stupid cheap. I did sleep in my Rab long sleeve top, just purely for comfort. Yeah, what's to say about it? It's a good bit of kit. In fact, it's probably the only bit of kit I've got left from Rab that's actually held together. I find Rab's clothing line at the minute over the last few years to be absolutely shite. So yeah, that worked well. This was the other thing I took. So this was like my mid layer, if you like, and this is the Patagonia Cap Air hoodie. This is a brilliant bit of kit. I loved it. Loved it in the evenings, just to keep you warm, or you just stick it on in the day over the top of the sun hoodie. Fantastic. Loved it. Worked very, very well. Relatively lightweight versus the warmth and the heat you get from it. I think it's well worth taking. Brilliant bit of hygiene clothing there. Darn tough socks. I wore these most of the way. The Darn Toughs were my wet socks, if you like. So the socks I'd wear during the day when I was hiking with my trail runners, so whether they got wet or not, whatever, and I just tend to hang them on my trekking pole outside of the tent of an evening and just let them air through and dry, and I've washed them in the loch and in the rivers a few times, and they worked very, very well. What's next? Oh no, there I didn't take them. There, some more Darn Tough socks. I took another pair of Bridgedale's, some black midweight Bridgedale socks that I used for tent socks, basically. So nope, I did not take that. Next, controversy. 360 dry socks. Now, I took these because I've tried other dry socks in the past, and the idea was just to use these. Say if my trail runners were soaking wet, I could just slip these on at camp and wear them with my trail runners so my feet didn't get wet at camp and stuff like that. But one morning we had pretty hefty rain, and I decided to put these on and hike in them. Super comfortable to wear to hike in. No sweaty, didn't make any blisters or anything like that, but they're not waterproof. 100% they're not waterproof. If I remember rightly, I can't remember which foot's which now. It was the right foot which wet out first of all, and then the left foot pretty much wet out pretty much after that. So, little bit disappointed really, because I had good faith in in the fact that these were going to work, but they didn't. And dry socks, shit. Just wear fucking normal socks and just get wet feet in it. Next up, we've got the Extremities waterproof gloves. Fantastic bit of kit. Absolutely kept my hands completely dry, warm for the half a day I needed them. Brilliant bit of kit, and they're relatively cheap as well. Chuffed with them. I ended up taking 2 buffs for some reason. I had one stuffed inside my beanie, and then I had one inside my dry sack. I never wore either of them. I didn't need them. Simple as that. Midgie head net. Smidge head net, should I say. I took the Smidge head net because it's coming up to midge season, and there were 1 or 2 midges around in one of the forested areas where we camped. But I didn't need it. I didn't use mine once, so I didn't need that either. Didn't need to take that. That's just the stuff sat for the Alpaplex. The Flex Tail Tiny Pump, the first edition. I used it every day just to pump my airbed up. No real need for a torch. Didn't use a torch once, but was it worth taking for the weight? Yeah, because when you're bollocksed and you don't want to blow your airbed up, it's easy just to stick that on. Most certainly the last night where I was absolutely goosed, that was a little godsend. Yeah, so fair enough. Yeah, it weighs what it weighs. This is, I don't know, that's something for the Altaplex, for the trekking pole attachment. I don't know, I better keep that safe. Pop that there. I didn't end up wearing my gaiters. There wasn't really any need to wear them. Yeah, didn't need them. Priceless. The tiny little bit of Everzote foam mat that I got off eBay and cut it down to my own size. Priceless for putting underneath your sleeping mat, or just lying outside on the grass so friggin' whatever's not sticking in you. Priceless bit of kit, and I will always take that, as I have said before. Outdoor Research beanie. I use this more or less every night, not to keep me warm, just because it was getting light at like 3:30, 4:45. You put it on your head and you can pull it down over your eyes, so it's as dark as night. Yeah, brilliant, loved it. Good bit of kit that. What are we on to next? Ooh, last couple of bits. Montaigne Podium waterproof pants. These are 100% waterproof, and they are as light as anything, and I didn't even sweat once in them. Brilliant bit of kit. I would recommend everybody gets them. Bushwhacking, don't bother, because you'll rip them to shreds. The Montaigne Podium top, absolutely loved it. This thing kept me dry when it was absolutely pissing it down, kept me dry when we had that shitty little drizzly stuff going on. As a windbreaker, absolutely amazing. Doesn't even smell. I had my sun hoodie, I had the Cap Air hoodie on, and I had this when we were going over some of the higher passes and some through the glens where it was quite open. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant bit of kit. Maybe I may have to look into somewhere on the zip somewhere. I think it wet out a little bit because I had a bit of a wet patch here. But I might have to look into that. But again, for the weight, amazing bit of kit. Loved it. No point taking the other big rain jacket. This is the Exped little pillow. I think it's the lightest pillow on the market you can get. This is the medium version, the Exped Ultra pillow. I love it. It worked absolutely well. And something I haven't got with me is Morgan's little baby pillowcase. I think I showed you that in the last pillow. So I'd just slide this, blow it up, slide that inside Morgan's little pillowcase, and then if need be, of an evening, or whatever top or whatever clothing I wasn't using, I would just stuff inside that as well, just to give my head a little bit more elevation. Yeah, really good, really chuffed I took that. What have we got next? Next we have got the my ultralight reflective bivvy. Now I used this for 2 of the nights. I used this on the first night because we were pitched in a grassy, damp area, and I was a little bit I was a little bit concerned that I hadn't pitched the Altaplex correctly, so I was expecting condensation that we didn't have. So I just used this just to protect the quilt. You know, first night I didn't want the quilt getting frigging wet and then not knowing what the weather was going to be like. And I think I used it on the second night, the night we camped in the forest, right by Loch Lomond. Other than that, I never really used it. But for the sake of the grammage, it's nothing. Again, I think that's 230 grams or something. And it packs down to nothing. And then last of that, oh no, I thought there's something else. There's more to go. There's more to go, guys. There's more to go. This is the Exped 5R insulated mat. I'm not gonna ever change out from this mat ever. I've got the women's X-Light upstairs, you know, the yellow X-Light, X-Firm. Anyway, the yellow one, whatever it is, which is like 200 and something grams. I think this is 530 grams or something like that. So I really could like smash another couple of 100 grams off my base weight if I wanted to. But why sacrifice when you can be completely, you can have comfort out on the trail and sleep perfectly. I'm not giving this up, no chance. I was saying to the boys, some of the other lads, I may go and buy the 1R version of this, just for summer use. I think it's ridiculously light. But this, for that time of year, combined with a quilt, it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Chuffed to bits. And last but by no means least, I never got my new down jacket, so I took the Montan Featherlight, whatever it is, and I never even used it. So I carried that, although it's light as anything. It's quite packable. It doesn't pack down tiny, but I carried this all the way for nothing. But I suppose, say the weather had turned shit, and I would have been thankful for it then. But yeah, I carried it all the way. But never mind. There we go. So that's everything I used on the West Highland Way, and a few bits and bobs I didn't use. Just to reiterate again, the one thing that let me down the most was myself and my body and my feet, and the trail runners. Now, I have spoke to quite a few people, and they have pointed out that I've had my trail runners, the Lone Peak 5s, for a while now, and they're probably about fucked. So maybe my bad, my bad really, but there we go. We live and learn. I'm still suffering at the minute, so I'm hoping that's going to bugger off soon. So we're back out this weekend. I think we're going to go, me and a few of the other lads are going to go and do a summit camp down here in South Wales. Hopefully going to meet up with another guy I've been chatting with, Di Kelly. I've never met him before, but we've been chatting quite a bit, so hopefully he's going to come along with Geraint and a few of the other lads. So anyway, there we go. That was that. Thanks for watching. Don't bother subscribing, and there won't be another video for ages. Ciao. Hi, I'm back. I forgot something. This was my fix your feet kit. So I took a bag. Oh, it's a bit. I took a bag of Tank and a few of the other boys. Will's recommended I got this antifungal foot powder from B&M or Home Bargains or whatever it was. This stuff was phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. It looked like you're carrying around like a big bag of cocaine, but I took that, and what else I took was I nicked some of these pots off my missus for her products and things, and there's this foot cream called G-Wall or whatever it is, and it's like an active foot cream. And so what I did, I rubbed that on my feet, bottom of my feet, and in between my toes and stuff like that every day, and then dipped my foot inside the bag with the powder, dusted it all up, and then rubbed it all on the rest of my feet, and then put my clean socks on. I never got one blister. I had to tape up my ankle and my foot a couple of times because I was freaking in bits. And I'd have to tape. I've done it a few times now on a few hikes. I've had to tape up my little toe and the toe next to it just to keep them in place. And I just used some little Luco tape, some thin Luco tape stuff. Brilliant. And anywhere I think things were rubbing, I would just like rip off strips about this long and just stick them over the areas where I thought something might be rubbing. Brilliant stuff. Absolute brilliant stuff. Maybe I should have got with a wider stuff, but really, really worked. So I think, yeah, that's just another. I took 2 of these little tubs of that ghee wall stuff. Yeah, and that was my foot care stuff. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, yeah, that is it this time. Again, thanks for watching.